So what does it mean to be productive? Very simple. It means to be able to utilize your energy, your time, and your resources effectively, that means on what you do, and efficiently, meaning how you do it, so that you can come out with your desired result and expectation. How to increase your productivity at work using emotional intelligence strategies so that you'll be able to achieve more and of course grow on the job. Today in our workplace, distractions are so much, and of course waste is a lot. Emotional intelligence is one powerful skill that can set you apart from those who are not productive and put you on a pedestrian of productivity continuously. So how do you use emotional intelligence to improve your productivity at work? If you have been following me, you would know that there are always 3 steps to practicing emotional intelligence. The first one is know yourself, self-awareness. The second one is choose yourself, self-management. And the third one is give yourself self-direction. Now, let us go into the issues of productivity and then we blend it with emotional intelligence. The first component to manage in order to increase your productivity would be time and energy. Time and energy. We have only 24 hours in a day and you have about 8 hours to spend at work. There is the movement to work and the movement back to work. And apart from work, there are so many other things that are competing for your time. The other one would be energy. Your energy is the capacity that you have to deploy to work continuously in your day-to-day life. If you want to increase productivity at work, one of the things that you have to do after watching this video is self-awareness about what is distracting you and draining your energy at work, and the part of work where you are able to manage your time well and manage your energy well. So sit down and ask yourself, what are the things that are distracting me from not maximizing my time at work? So let us look at the few things that will be distracting for you at work. That would be awareness. Generally, your smartphones. Yeah, smartphones are a big distraction in this day and age. Number 2 would be a lot of emails. Number 3 would be your co-workers, those who want to gist with you, who want to tell you something new going on in the office and all of that. That would be a big distraction. Number 4 generally would be the TV in the office. You know, something is showing on CNN, something is showing on Al Jazeera, on Channels News, and you're watching it and it's already distracting you from work. Another one would be hunger. When you're hungry, you're distracted from work. How do you manage that? Another big one would be emotions. Things happen and then you're feeling irritated, you're feeling irk, you're feeling angry. It can also distract you from work. And generally, things happening in the office with background noise, different music, and all of that. So with all of those distractions, including meetings, an emotionally intelligent person would begin to practice mindfulness. Now you have to be aware of all the distractions, but you also have to be aware, know yourself, aware of your need to be mindful. So to practice mindfulness, you need to be able to sit down from time to time and ask yourself, what is going on? What am I feeling right now? What am I doing right now? Now that is awareness. And that is you catching yourself in the moment, because emotional intelligence is about being in charge of yourself rather than being enslaved to everything that is happening around you. Catch yourself when you're being tired. Catch yourself when you're playing. Catch yourself when it seems like you're gisting. Catch yourself when you are watching the TV. Catch yourself when you're doing the task. Catch yourself when you're spending too much time waiting for a meeting. Just keep being aware and catching yourself in the moment about what you're doing. But more importantly, then set a goal on what you want to do with your time. Now you can decide that you're not going to touch your phone until after every 2 hours of work or after every 1 hour of work. Now I don't know where you work, I don't know what you do, but you'll be able to determine how long you're going to stay away from your phone, how long you're going to stay away from gist, how long you're going to stay away from understanding what is going on in the background in the office, how long you're going to stay away from what other people are complaining about, and just focus on your work. And how would you do that? I will do that by ensuring that my ears are plugged with the type of music. That is me being aware and choosing myself. Know yourself is being aware of everything that's happening. Choose yourself is being intentional about what you want to do, and then give yourself is about doing it for a purpose. So for the sake of the productivity that I want to achieve, I want to focus every 1 hour before I touch my phone, before I stand up for 5 minutes to ask what is happening in the office, and I come back to my seat and continue to work. Those who practice emotional intelligence are intentional about what they do with their time. Part of what you can also do with your time is to determine what you should delegate to other people to do and what you should accept from other people. Now, people will throw things at you from the office. Everybody wants you to do something, especially if you're that person who knows how to get things done. But you have to be able to choose, self-manage what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. Your communication will be beautiful. You'll be able to say, I would have loved to do that for you, but there's something on my table now that I need to concentrate on, and I have only a few hours to get it done. If I have a good time after that, I would help you to do it. Now that is you choosing yourself and ensuring that you're managing your time well. You will be productive. The next one would be your energy management. So when we're talking about energy management, we're talking about how to utilize your strength for productivity, your physical strength, your mental strength, and your emotional strength. Today, in our fast-paced workplace, there are so many things that drains our energy. Some of them are positive, but a lot of them are negative. So in order to use emotional intelligence to manage your energy, you have to be able to, first of all, be aware of those negative things that drains your energy and reduces your productivity. The first one would be arguments. Those who practice emotional intelligence, they refrain from arguing. They listen, they communicate, and they move on. When you engage in constant and excessive arguments, you would drain your energy and you will waste your time. So practice emotional intelligence, be aware of it, and choose what to do when arguments start around you. The second one would be personal attacks. Now, personal attack would be personal attack from you to others and from others to you. Personal attack drains energy. It's about you using foul language or other people using on you, insulting and trampling on people, speaking to people's personality rather than dealing with the issues. Personal attack drains your energy at work. You want to refrain from it with emotional intelligence, and we're going to talk about how to do that. The next one would be defensiveness. You know, when you try to defend yourself continuously, it would drain your energy. And I'm not saying you should not stand for yourself. I'm saying there's a little difference between standing for yourself and defending and defending. Defending would be you trying to make everybody realize that you're not wrong, trying to make everybody realize that you're the one that is correct. You have to learn how to just communicate and move on. Send mails that are recorded officially and call a meeting instead of trying to defend yourself with everybody. Another thing that drains energy at work would be bringing up unresolved past issues. You want to learn how to leave the past as the past, resolve things, and wake up today into a new life and deal with today and move on. All of these things would require you to be aware of them. So how many of these things that I've listed is part of your day-to-day life and more? You want to list them. That's awareness. The next one would be, what would you choose to do? And so I want you to practice this. Rather than defensiveness, what would you do? Rather than personal attacks, what would you do? Rather than arguments, extensive arguments, what would you do? Anything that you choose to do that would not drain your energy would be you choosing yourself. And then, of course, give yourself, be purposeful about utilizing your energy. What do you want to do with your energy? If the goal is to be productive, then you're going to refrain from everything that does not define productivity in the utilization of your energy, and then you're going to focus on the things that brings about productivity with your energy. Energy is limited. There's only a limited amount of it available for you daily. It is not infinite and so elastic. And so avoid draining your energy so that you can increase your productivity. Another important element of productivity would be your focus and your concentration. And emotional intelligence also helps in this regard. To increase your productivity, you have to learn how to be void of distractions. And so I want you to imagine listening to music, and amongst the symphony of music, among the orchestra of the music, you are able to pick one particular instrument and listen to that instrument continuously. And so, for example, you're listening to music and you can only hear the piano, and you can hear the piano for the next 5 minutes. I want you to imagine being in the middle of a crowd with a noise in the market, and you are still able to pick a book and read the book and concentrate so much that you're not hearing anything around you anymore. Distractions are more internal than external, meaning that you can choose what you want to be hearing from within your heart, irrespective of what is happening on the external. That is what we mean by being focused and concentrating. Now, how does emotional intelligence help here? It is self-management. And just like you practice emotional intelligence skills, you have to practice being focused. And I've given you several examples. So from now and henceforth, in order to be productive, identify all the distractions that come to you. For every distraction, now start practicing focus. So for example, if the distraction is the gist around the office, when you get to the office after watching this, decide that you want to practice focus. And by the way, enjoy the practice. It means that you will sit on your seat, you will face your laptop, you will start working, and then you will ensure that that is only what you're seeing. What you're doing is what you're saying. What you're doing is what you're putting your mind on. In emotional intelligence, we call it self-management. The more you practice that, the more you would grow the skill to constantly stay on what needs to be stayed on, rather than get distracted on what is not necessary. Now, when you start practicing this, your focus will begin to increase. You would find it easier to just focus in. Let me give you a very, very simple exercise to increase your focus. When you sit on your seat in the office, put your mind on different parts of your body. You can decide to take your mind and feel your toes. Take your mind and feel your knees. Take your mind to feel your fingers. You can even decide to focus on your heartbeat or your breath. When you do this, do it with all sense of concentration, irrespective of what is happening around you. You are choosing yourself. The more you practice this, the more you'll be able to focus on the reports. The more you'll be able to focus on the mail. The more you'll be able to focus on preparing for the meeting. And as your focus and concentration begin to increase, your productivity will be increasing. Those who don't practice emotional intelligence are easily distracted with everything around them. The phone vibrates and they check it. Somebody yells and they check it. Somebody says hello and they put their head up. Somebody bangs the door and they check it. Now you continue to do all of that, your productivity would be suboptimal. But when you learn how to stay focused with a lot of mindfulness, you will increase your productivity. That's a very crucial one. Another important component to your productivity would be your motivation, your drive. The more you're driven to get things done, the more you're going to get them done. And emotional intelligence is a crucial part of motivation. In fact, the word motivation and the word emotions are the same. They are both from the etymology called mote, and mote means to drive. If you want to improve your productivity, you have to improve your motivation. There is the extrinsic motivation and the intrinsic motivation. Those who practice emotional intelligence, they are motivated with the intrinsic motivation from something within rather than something on the outside. Those who are productive are motivated with something within rather than on the outside. They don't wait for a tap in the back, for salaries, for appreciation, for somebody to call their name before they become productive. No, they are productive because they want to be productive by themselves. And you need to understand that your intrinsic motivation is a competence in emotional intelligence. And the way to build it is what you put in your subconscious. What you put in your subconscious will determine what is driving you from within. So for example, if money is in your subconscious, the money they will pay me for the work, the money they will pay me for the work. If that is what is driving you, when the payment does not come or the payment does not meet your expectation, your motivation is going to drop. If what is driving you is the appreciation from your boss, if that appreciation does not come, it's going to drop. But if what is driving you is from your within, for example, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. It doesn't matter what happens in the environment. You want to get things done well because it's your values. It is from your within. If what is driving you is that everything I touch must become gold, it means that it doesn't matter what is happening around you. You want what you've touched to be gold. And so you would have good motivation and you would drive towards it. For some other people, what is motivating them is the statement that says, my work is my brand. My work is my brand. And they want a good employee brand for themselves. So the work must be good. What is motivating you? It cannot be something on the outside. It has to be something on the inside. Ensure that it has to do with your values and personal goals rather than from the outside. I can't assure you that everything on the outside will keep you going. Someday it's going to fail. Someday your boss is not going to appreciate you. Someday salary will not be paid on time. Someday somebody is going to fail with that promise they give to you. And so if those are the things that are motivating you, your productivity will drop when they don't happen. But if your productivity is motivated from the inside, you will keep going and you'll keep being productive. So build your intrinsic motivation. The next most important variable component for productivity would be stress management. And of course, emotional intelligence would help you manage stress. I have always said it, that stress is a sign that you're not doing something well. Those who practice emotional intelligence, they are able to take a pause and ask themselves, what is stressing me? What is the sign saying? When you listen to the message of your stress, you will be able to deal with the stress. Stress is a sign that you're not doing something well. So stress can tell you that you're not sitting well. So your back is paining you and you're not productive. Stress can be telling you that you are hating people too much in your office. And so looking at everybody that you are hating on and beefing on is disturbing you from concentrating on your work. Stress can be telling you that you're not resting enough. And so in between work, you can stop work and take a nap and rest. Stress can be telling you that you have done too much work. You need some level of relief and you'll be able to choose yourself, stand up, walk around, and then come back to the job. What is the message of your stress? What is your stress telling you? Are you listening enough? Those who practice emotional intelligence, they know first of all that stress is a sign. Secondly, they are able to listen to the message of the stress. And thirdly, they are able to choose what to do because they understand the stress. So if you want to be productive, then you have to apply emotional intelligence to your stress management. And that will help you to increase your productivity at work. And the last one I'm going to be talking about would be using relationships to increase productivity. And of course, emotional intelligence is a big deal when it comes to managing relationship. Listen, you can't be everywhere at the same time. You can't do everything and you don't know everything. There's a level of your productivity that requires somebody else to teach you something, somebody else to do something for you, somebody else to partner with you and work collaboratively with you in order to get things done. If you don't practice emotional intelligence, it means that you don't know how to manage people. It also means that people will be far from you. You would deter people rather than attract people. But if you're such that is able to use empathy to communicate, to listen, to use the right words and respect people at work, to attract people such that it is easy to be around you rather than people finding it difficult to be with you, you will be able to work with people. So when you need something to be done, it's going to be easy for you to ask someone. The relationships around you can help you get more done with less time, and that is productivity. So practice emotional intelligence in relating with people, in your communication, in your actions, in your words, in your body language, such that you are able to connect with people easily and they are able to connect with you easily, and collaboratively you can get more done. These are some examples of how to increase your productivity at work maximize your results and minimize waste and distractions, minimize the unnecessary use of energy, and get more done continuously by practicing emotional intelligence. So go out there and do more and achieve more. Be more.